We're back at another Ranger Ultra. This time it's the Yorkshire Three Peaks 100 kilometre challenge. The race started at 9 a.m. on a cool but sunny October morning. The race started from Hawes in the Yorkshire Dales, and competitors tackled the three peaks of Whernside, Ingleborough and Pen-y-Ghent, covering 70 kilometres and back to Hawes. Now, for those who were really brave, or some might think really stupid, there was an option to go back out from Hawes for a further 30k to round it up to the 100. Now, for those of you who have watched our videos before, you will know how competitive Lloyd is, so you will not be surprised when I tell you that he decided to do the full 100k. Let's see how he got on in the race.
Okay, so started at 100k, about a couple of miles in, second, making the way up to the Chem High Road. Nice day, much colder than the High Peak 100. Feeling okay. Coming down the Cam High Road, about seven miles or so in. Don't feel too bad. Sure, it was quite a long climb going up, but we've been running downhill for quite some time now. In the joint lead, but there's a few competitors only a minute or so back, so it's all quite tightly packed. I think that's possibly Ingleborough, which is the second climb of the day. Just coming up to see Ribblehead Viaduct in the distance. Feeling okay so far, all good. Okay, the first peak coming up. In the lead, not by much. Not sure how I feel. Okay, I haven't done an update for a long time, so done the 70k. Just currently on my way up Great Shunner. Probably about half an hour of daylight left, so I'll probably get somewhere near to the top before I have to put my head torch on. It's a long old slog up Great Shunner. So the story is, until quite late on I thought I was in the lead, only to be told at the last checkpoint that somebody had overtaken me, and that was the first I was aware. So I was quietly seething, thinking somebody possibly had shortcutted, but the more I thought about it, the only possibility was somebody had gone straight through the checkpoint at Horton whilst I was inside, and that's exactly what happened. Kind of no matter really, because we're in separate races. The person who one at the 70k has stopped there, and I'm continuing on for the 100. Have no idea how far I'm ahead of the next person who's doing the 100, but we'll see. Possibly won't be any more videos tonight because there's very little light left now. Overall, I feel quite tired now, but comparatively to the high peak 100k, where the heat was horrendous, I feel a bit better than that. So onwards really. About 21-22k to go. See you at the finish.
Well, congratulations Lloyd on winning the Yorkshire Three Peaks 100-kilometre challenge. So tell me about the race itself.
Okay, so we started off from Hawes on a bright but very cold start to the day. Went up to the Cam High Road, and I was pretty well positioned at the start. Slotted into second, a few seconds behind the leader, who I eventually joined as I descended the Cam High Road towards Ribblehead. The start of the first climb was Whernside, and at that point we split apart, and I went into the lead myself. Not intentionally, just sort of naturally happened that way. As you do, it's very steep, so you have to sort of walk and run as best you can. And it was much like that way up to the top of Whernside, all the way down to the other side of Whernside, and on the way to Ingleborough. I stayed in the lead whilst descending Ingleborough. My legs started to really feel it. I think 1 kilometre alone, I think I did 235 metres of climb according to my Garmin. Got to Horton. That was the first time I took on any liquids, didn't stop at any of the previous checkpoints, and continued on through Pennygant, and then ascend the Cam High Road to the very final checkpoint if you were only doing the 70k, and it was only there I was told that I was second, which took me by surprise. I thought I was in the lead, didn't know by how much, but apparently I'd been undercut, which confused me because no one had passed me out on the course at all. And it turned out that I'd been undercut whilst I was inside the checkpoint, and the second place guy knew I was in there and flew straight past. He went all in to try and win the 70k race. So in the end it didn't really make any difference to me because I was always planning to do the 100k. But it did give me a bit of confusion. I got back to Hawes, didn't stay for very long, and then I did two ascents of Great Shunner Fell. First ascent going up, the outbound leg, I got to the top just before nightfall. I had to put my head torch on the way down at about 7 p.m. And it was only because the extension of the extra 30k to make it 100 kilometres in total. It's an out and back section, so it was the first time I had a genuine idea of how far I was ahead with just 15 kilometres or so to go, and I knew I had about 25 or 30 minutes lead, which felt like enough, but ideally I would have wanted a bit more. So I just used it as a spur to keep pushing on, but making sure I was going at a nice controlled pace, and thankfully I won.
So what was your overall finishing time for the race?
I did 12 hours 15 minutes, which was only 5 minutes difference from the High Peak 100k. I was 5 minutes quicker, but of course the terrain for the Yorkshire Three Peaks is a lot harder. It's 3,300 metres of climb, which I think is about 11,000 feet or so. The High Peak 100k was nowhere near that, despite of course the weather being far hotter, which would have been a hindrance a few weeks back.
So is there anything that you would have done differently in the race?
There's no such thing as a perfect race, but I was pretty pleased overall. I felt like I've become a better ultra runner through this event. So I was doing a lot more running in places where previously I would have walked. So even if it's just a small section, like 10 metres between steep bits, I ran that, and I ran everything that was conceivably runnable. Which I thought was quite pleasing, and sets me up well for potentially future races, including the Spine in January, which is part of one of my upcoming races I've got planned.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all at the next event.